Before we get started any further, we'd like to call upon the leader of the official opposition, my good friend Naheed Nenshi, to give his comments about what he sees happening in this province and some of the things we can do to try and change the trajectory of what is going on.
Well, thank you so much, Kent. Thank you all so much for being here today. It matters. We need to hear your voice, and the people inside that building need to hear your voices. So let them hear your voices now. I am so proud to stand up here with all of you today, with a number of my colleagues, your Alberta New Democrat team, and it's a big team. This is just a fraction of that big team, and we are thrilled to be able to stand with you today. Who have I got here? We have MLA Luann Metz, Irfan Saber, Dave Egan, Raki Pancholi, y'all know Janice Irwin, Rhiannon Hoyle. I'm going to skip over the next one and introduce you to Lauren Dabb. And the reason I skipped over one is because you all know her. Because I need you to understand that there is no greater champion in this province, in this country, for people with disabilities as an elected official than the incredible MLA for St. Albert, Marie Renaud. Folks, I hate to tell you this. Well, maybe I don't because I'm in opposition, but I wish I didn't have to tell you this. We have a government in this province that not only doesn't care, but actively works to make life worse for many Albertans. And for the year almost that I've been in this job, I've been really confused by the things that they do. I keep saying, don't they understand that what they're doing is not only not helpful, but is actually actively cruel? And I kept thinking that cruelty was a byproduct, that they just weren't thinking about people, that they were being cruel in error. And over the last several months, I've come to realize that for this government, cruelty is not a byproduct. Cruelty is the point. This government doesn't think of government as governing. It doesn't think of government as making life better for Albertans. It thinks of governing as nothing but a political game. And their political game is like a UFC match, a mixed martial arts match. They want the people in the crowd to cheer, and they think that it will make people cheer when they slam vulnerable people into the mat. And we will not stand for that. The best example of this, of course, and I'm looking at all of these signs out here, the best example of this is the Canada Disability Benefit. Let's just talk about this for a second. For more than a decade, advocates, people living with disability, have been lobbying the federal government for a pittance, for just a little thing to make hard lives just a little bit easier. And they won. They didn't win big, but they won one first step. And that first step being a measly $200 a month. And I say measly because it should be more, but you all know that an extra $200 a month will let you exhale just a little bit. Will let you breathe just a little bit easier when you're at the grocery counter. Will maybe give you a few bucks in your pocket so you can go see that new Avengers movie and not worry about it. The people in there do not understand the meaning of that $200 and how it can make a real difference in the lives of everyday people. It doesn't cost them one penny to let you keep the $200. And yet, uniquely, as the only province in the entire province, they're clawing back the $200 from ACE recipients. I see a lot of things in my job every day that make me angry, and I try to hold on to hope. But nothing has made me more angry than this. There is no political win in this. Nobody is saying, hey, hurt the people with disabilities more. make the people of AISH suffer more.
Shame on them!
Yet this is what this provincial government is doing. I want you to remember that when the Alberta New Democrats were in power, I was in a different job then. But thanks to the advocacy of a bunch of people here, and I should mention, let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Joe Cece has joined us. Hi, Joe. These 4 folks up here with me just celebrated their 10th year serving Albertans as MLAs. The 10th anniversary of the Alberta New Democrat government was 10 years ago yesterday. And you remember what that government did. We cut child poverty in half. We looked after vulnerable people in our community. And most important, we were the first government to index AISH payments to inflation. This government has de-indexed those payments. This government has made it harder for people to live with disabilities with their lives every single day with the highest inflation in the country. And this government has cruelly clawed back the Canada Disability Benefit. There are so many other things. We can talk about ADAP. We can talk about their ideological need because they see people living with disabilities as an enemy or a sponge on the system, and their ideological need to make already vulnerable people suffer more.
Dishonorable!
It is dishonorable and it is shameful. Because we live here, and we're sitting here, it's reckless, it's selfish, it's dangerous. If I still had a thesaurus, do they still exist? I could give you more words. Hey Google, what are more words for? Anyway, but I want you to think about something. You are standing here on a glorious spring Alberta day. You're standing here at the seat of your legislature. This isn't our legislature, it's not their legislature, it's your legislature. The trees are in bloom. I spelt the May days for the first time today, and we are standing under that thing that I love the most about Alberta, an endless, endless blue spring sky. We're standing on a river valley that has been here for thousands of years, where for countless generations, people have come to gather to build community. And when this building was built, 113 years ago, she's been on the tour. It was built in this ancient place as a symbol of how the power of the people will always prevail. And your being here today sends a strong message that the power of the people will always prevail. Because the promise of this land is a very simple promise. And that promise is, regardless of what you look like or where you come from, regardless of how you worship or whom you love, regardless of your level of ability, you belong here. And not only do you belong here, you deserve to be here. And you deserve to live a life free of discrimination. You deserve to live a life of opportunity. You deserve to live a life of prosperity. You deserve an Alberta where every single person can thrive because every single person can live a life of dignity. And we stand in solidarity with every one of you as we remind them that all of our lives matter, that every single Albertan deserves that life of dignity, and that we will fight like hell every single day to make sure every single Albertan lives up to their full potential, and it's your voice that's going to make that happen, and I'm deeply grateful to every one of you. Thank you all. Oh, I forgot one thing. I got to that big head of steam, and I realized I forgot one important thing, which is government, in addition to funding, in addition to AISH, in addition to programs that help people with disabilities access education and aids to living and everything else, we also have a responsibility to, in legislation, ensure that universal design, that accessibility is a part of every single thing we do in our community. You know, it's not lost on me. It's not lost on me that I'm standing on the 5th step here so you all can see me. But my friends Zach and Kent don't have that option. So what we need more than anything is accessibility legislation. And I want to tell you all that this woman standing next to me has, in fact, tabled Alberta's first ever accessibility legislation bill. Because we're not just about talk, we're about taking real action. And our real action only happens because of your voices. So once again, let's hear from Marie Renaud. And let's hear it for every single one of you. Thank you all.
Well, let's hear it one more time for Nahad and the NDP caucus who joined us tonight. And one more thing before the show moves on. Rocky, take it away.
Thanks, Kat. Hello, can you hear me? Wonderful. Hi, everyone. My name is Rocky Pancholi. I'm the NLA for Edmonton Whitemed, and so proud to be the deputy leader of the Alberta NDP. Everything Nahad said is absolutely true, and we're so grateful to be here. Our colleague Jody Callahoo Stonehouse was going to be here to bring a land acknowledgement to all of you. She's been meeting with some very important chiefs today to talk about how important it is to preserve our treaty relationship with First Nations and Métis people. And I couldn't think of a better thing to be doing today to acknowledge how important our First Peoples are, but also that we are all treaty people. We are here today on the land of Treaty 6, where we know for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, generations of people have lived on this land. They have gathered here, and they are sharing this land with all of us as treaty people. We are so proud to be here and to walk on these lands with them, to move forward in reconciliation with First Nations people, but also the Métis people of Alberta who share a deep connection to this land. I want to thank you all for sharing this space, this land, which is about collaboration, which is about reconciliation, and is about moving forward in a good way. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Rocky. Well said. We are all treaty people. But today we are here to call for stronger accessibility and disability support commitments from the Alberta government. We want to bring attention to 3 key priorities. Reinstate funding and ensure access to essential supports, including ending the decision to impose a 100% disability tax on the Canada Disability Benefit income from adults with disabilities. Shameful. We want that back. 2, include people with lived experience in decisions that affect them. Pause moving individuals from ACE to the new Alberta Disability Assistance Program until meaningful consultation has been completed. 3, enact provincial accessibility legislation. Our province, like the rest of Canada, deserves to be a place where every person, regardless of ability, can live, work, and participate fully and meaningfully in our society. But here we are. I think before we need to get going, you know what we need? We need a little chant. We gotta liven things up here. So let's go. Let's see if we got someone here who's gonna lead us in a chant? Here we are. Take it away, my friend.
All right, everybody sing with me. We're not gonna take it. No, we're gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. One more time. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. And everybody, we're full fight. Hey, we're right. Hey, hands up. Hey, our CBD. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
There we go. Hey. Awesome, eh? first speaker, Jennifer Stewart. Jennifer's impact on the self-advocacy movement since 1999 is profound. Her work in the community, from her involvement in disability arts to her membership in the Disability Action Hall, has significantly improved the lives of individuals on AISH and the PDD program. Jennifer is not a stranger working alongside the government and played an active role in the government-appointed 2015-2016 panel for safety standards, ensuring all Albertans could live in safe homes of their choice. Jennifer is passionate about keeping self-advocacy alive, adequately resourced, and at the forefront of government priorities. Take it away. Thank you so much for being here. Let's have a big round of applause.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Stewart, and I'm a proud member of the Disability Action Hall, and I always will be a proud member of the Action Hall, no matter what. There is a saying in the disability community, nothing about us without us. In the past several months, we have had devastating impacts on the disability community. We have had self-advocacy groups cut.
No more cuts! 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 Cut back, fight back! Cut back, fight back! Cut back. What? I didn't know what you were saying.
Okay, self-advocacy, programs with agencies across Alberta have been cut. A 42 million from AISH cut. Disability removed from the Alberta Rights Act cut. We have had 200 that was going to us cut, and nobody asked us about this. Minister Nixon, are you listening? We need to meet face to face. We need to talk. Can everybody repeat after me? Nothing about us without us.
Nothing about us without us! 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 No more cuts! 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 No more cuts!
I run out of breath too fast.
Wow.
Cut curbs, not funding!
Oh, well, now I got to introduce the person who's doing our actual chat. It's Alex Jacks. Alex resides on Treaty 7 territory, is a proud member of the Disability Action Hall. He has lived experience of being a queer and disabled, a sign artist, and helps facilitate sensory rooms for everyone. Let's have a big round of applause for Alex. And now, before we call up our next speaker, I think we need a quick chant as well. Is that okay? Perfect. Fire away.
Ho ho! Hey hey! Disability rights are here to stay! Ho ho! Hey hey! Disability rights are here to stay! Ho ho! Hey hey! Disability rights are here to stay! Ho ho! Hey hey! Disability rights are here to stay! We will not be silent! We will not be silent!
Now, our next speaker is my very good friend, Mike Wing. He is a longtime disability advocate and content creator. He has a passion for disability justice and wants to make the world a better place for all people with disabilities. And I can say you do that every day, my friend. He'll be reading a poem today about the defunding of disability advocacy groups. Let's hear it for my good friend, Mike Way.
Thank you. Before I read this, I just want to say I am so happy right now. Like, this is incredible, you guys. Thank you. I do have a poem I'd like to read. So here we go. Just shut up and die, the government cries to the advocates down below. We don't want your voice, they say, as they gleefully pull the money away. 2 decades of work vaulted the state of advocacy as we know. Our voices no more are rights on the floor like those on Mission Row. Like decades before, we're silenced again by a government we've come to know. They won't stop their reign till they maximize our pain, but here's what they need to know. For 2 decades now, we've learned of our right. We've been given a voice, a platform, a choice. No matter the outcome, the good nor the bad, self-advocates will win this fight. We won't shut up and die because self-advocacy gave us our voice.
You know what's coming next? Alex, let's have another chant.
All right. You know what we're going to say to that? Hey, hey, ho, ho. They used to be has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. They used to be has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. They used to be has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. They used to be has got to go. Hands off our CBD.
There we go. All right, hey, another good friend of mine is our next speaker. It's Mr. Dan Peterson, disability advocate, karaoke enthusiast, competitor, an accessibility nerd living with cerebral palsy. As an 18-year professional in the sports and hospitality industry, Dan's passion for advocacy started with a desire to make large entertainment spaces more accessible. He has been very active in his advocacy for the last 5 years and is an original member of Barrier-Free Alberta. Without further ado, Dan, come on up here. Let's have a big round of applause.
Beep, 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 beep.
He's too quiet. I do that at my church right back up the
Good afternoon, everyone. This is pretty surreal being here with all of you. I'm here today to talk about, much like all of you, frustrations. Specifically in my case, I'm here to talk about the switch from ADAP to AISH or vice versa. The issue is, in my case, under the existing system of AISH, I would argue I've been given an opportunity to thrive. I live at home with my parents still, but that's fine. I'm able to work part-time, and I'm able to navigate the system and save enough money to take 1 or 2 trips a year to see my beloved Calgary Flames. Sorry, folks. On the road. Hey, they're signing my paychecks, guys. I'm sorry. That's the part-time job with the in the entertainment field we're talking about. But ultimately, under the existing system, I'm able to thrive. And with the implementation of the new program, and I use the word implementation loosely because they announced it and then there was no,
clarity as to how the system is going to work. I worry about how that's going to affect me moving forward. Am I going to have my age benefit reduced? Am I going to lose my medical benefits? Do I have to quit my existing job to take their job skills training? And what exactly do they mean by meaningful work? Do they mean minimum wage? Because I've been doing that 20 years. And I want more. We deserve more. At the end of the day, I want to leave you with this. I want to paraphrase the great songwriter John Mayer. And the end of the speech I had written that I chose not to give. The fundamental problem here is they make decisions that affect us, yet they keep us at a distance. So the time to act is now. There's no more waiting on the world to change. No more waiting.
No more waiting! No more waiting!
Act now! Act now!
No more waiting! Act now!
Thank you.
Dan, that was absolutely fabulous, my friend. And no one is better at making hospitality seem seamless than my friend Dan at the Calgary Arena night after night. Thanks a lot for your advocacy, Dan. All right, Alex, we know what's next. One of our chats. Let's take it away.
Well, let's take it a little old school here. So everybody sing with me. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. You gotta get up, stand up, and don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Perfect. Our next speaker is Landon Sheppel from Calgary. He was born with cerebral palsy and is new to the disability advocacy scene, but is a state radio and television broadcast news student who is on AISH and did his final news assignment on this issue. Let's hear it for our good friend.
Pardon me, I need to borrow this for a second. Yeah, please. So who here is ready to fight? Back in February, I first heard about these changes from my mom. When I looked into the government press release, it said more information was going to be released back in March. But when March arrived, did you guys see anything? That's right. So it's so frustrating that they would offer us silence rather than answers. It's more than frustrating.
They're full of fakery.
It is dehumanizing. It tells us we're not worth communicating with, and that our dignity is second to government bureaucracy. One of the most troubling changes to age is that under Jason Nixon's announcement, people receiving age could be forced to undergo reassessment. Do you think that's fair? No! This is people's livelihoods on the line. For many, it feels like standing on a rope bridge, already fraying, and these changes only add weight to the system under strain. Even though they know this, the culmination of these protestations taken by government without a seat at the table and or know about is another stab in the back by the institution we have to trust that is apparently not... Okay, so I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. This is my first speech. It's another stab in the back by the institution we rely on to make our decisions known. These long-standing barriers to employment have left many of us in a collective group who find their strength with the diversity and unique aspects of each disability to feel excluded from a society. And for me, if I wasn't disabled, I would be in the military. But unfortunately, my CP has robbed me of that opportunity. And too often, we're made to feel invisible. Invisible to people that don't see our potential. Invisible to people that don't see our purpose in life rather than us sitting at home. Invisible to people that don't understand and just say, work harder. But how can they judge us when they haven't seen, lived or learned a moment in our lives? It is disgusting to think that they would want to judge us when we haven't even found out what our lives are. But here's the thing. I choose to be visible. Visible in every way I live. Because in each one of us is resiliency to adapt despite our challenges. And I choose to be visible in our sheer determination to succeed in life and to prove those wrong. Sorry, ladies.
Good job.
I need to get that's why I'm speaking.
All right, let's do a chant. Disability rights are human rights. 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 We are not invisible. 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 We are not invisible.
Well, I'm going to ask everyone to do a little favor here. You see, there's this thing called social media, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitters, and the X out there. And I know that there's been, the TikToks too, Zach. I'm 55, so I'm not keeping up with what the cool kids like Zach are doing these days. Anyways, I want you guys post all your pictures and different things like that with the hashtag Access for All. So when we're doing this, people know where we are, we get trending, and people know that we had this event here today, that we're sick and tired and we're not going to take it anymore. Does that sound good? Perfect. All right. I'm going to call up our next speaker, which is Karen Dowling is here with her daughter Ava to share the way that their family has had to fight and advocate for Ava to receive the PDD support she is entitled to as an Albertan with an intellectual disability. Ava, and you guys take it away, Karen, okay? Perfect.
Hi, everybody. My daughter Ava, she's lived in Alberta her whole life. She's going to be turning 20 in October. Ava has an intellectual disability as well as fibromyalgia and POTS, so she can't adequately manage her own health. To live a safe and full life, Ava needs support. Knowing that she qualified, we applied for PDD over 2 years ago because we wanted to ensure supports would continue uninterrupted when she turned 18. But PDD denied her any support. So at the time, PDD representatives told us that Ava's needs for support were not critical and urgent. So she would receive no support at all. Exactly. This was the first time we heard these words, critical and urgent, in the context of PDD. Later we learned that PDD legislation and regulation do not require critical and urgent need. It's an arbitrary rule created to reduce government spending by denying supports to thousands of eligible adults. We spent countless hours in the past number of years navigating bureaucratic processes only to be repeatedly denied. Ava's first years of adulthood have not been what any family hopes for. Without access to supports in the home or in the community, Ava has become socially isolated, and her mental and physical health have deteriorated as a result. Since she aged out and lost FSCD supports, Ava has had to seek medical attention for health concerns that could have been prevented because she lacks the support she needs to manage her health. The Alberta government recognized Ava needed FSCD support and provided it until age 17. And they also approved her as eligible to continue receiving support when she turned 18, but did not provide it. Why should the government's unwillingness to commit the needed funding needed that my daughter needs and thousands of others in her situation need and put their life on hold when they turn the age of 18? Some adults go their entire lives without receiving PDD support that they actually have a right to, or denied support for years, and only to get it when their needs escalate to a crisis point. Proactive, not reactive supports are necessary to ensure those in need can fulfill a productive adult life. In the long run, in my opinion, this would also be a more cost-effective use of funding. After 1 year and 7 months without disability supports, we have finally been told PDD will fund some support. That was a win for us. It took a lot of tears, pain, energy, perseverance, determination, and advocacy, but we finally received an answer. However, we still don't know exactly when the support will begin. The lack of clarity of the PDD program and their decision-making process leaves us anxious about continued delays.
Shame on them.
Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them! Shame on them!
Ava is not an individual who merely fell through the cracks of the system. She represents someone whom the system has significantly overlooked. The system knew her needs, has a program whose legislation describes meeting her exact needs, but the government chose to shut her out and put her life on hold. They dropped her, and she would have remained dropped had we not tirelessly advocated for her. We know Ava is not the only one who has been impacted by the so-called critical and urgent care criteria. The long wait times, the opacity of the systems Albertans with disabilities and their families are expected to navigate. These challenges adversely affect the future of our loved ones. I frequently ponder whether there exists an underlying strategy to make navigating these systems for which these individuals qualify so complex that many ultimately abandon their pursuit of desperately needed supports. I'm calling on the government to restore accountability for programs to deliver timely and adequate disability supports with a budget increase to serve the growing Alberta population.
Thanks, Karen and Ava, for sharing your stories. Now I am going to introduce a man who needs no introduction to this crowd. Oh, we're going to, gee, I skipped ahead. My goodness, I'm getting so excited here. Okay, hey, I'd like to introduce Roxanne Felix Ma. a mom and an advocate who will share her story about her family supports for children with disabilities. Thank you, Roxanne.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roxanne. I'm glad to be here in Treaty 6 territory. Woo! I have a son. His name is Jacob, and he's 4 years old. He has dark, curly hair, big brown eyes, with long lashes, an infectious laugh. Jacob was only a year and a half when he had his first epileptic seizure. The seizure led to tests which revealed that he has a rare genetic condition. There's only 2 other families we know of in Alberta who have it. We know he will have this condition for the rest of his life, and there is no cure. And it is difficult to predict the severity and impact of his condition. To help us manage this uncertainty, our geneticist gave us these wise words: Jacob will reveal to us who he will be. And what has Jacob revealed to us so far in the last 4 years? He is adventurous. He is full of life. His determination is his superpower, and he is resilient, like I have heard so many of you today. I never have to convince Jacob to try again. So like any parent, no matter what the statistics or studies say about Jacob's potential problems with walking, falling, speaking, learning, my husband and I were determined that Jacob would be set up for success. I knew that if we could get him physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, while his brain was still in development, combined with our love and support, Jacob would have the start to life that he deserves. And that is all any parent can ask for. I am not looking for miracles. I am looking for support from my government to simply do what years of research and experience tells us. The earlier we help children with disabilities, the better off they will be. So, we submitted the paperwork and hoped and prayed that Jacob would qualify for services so he could learn to use a tablet to communicate, be with other kids in the playground, things that all children deserve in a wealthy province. And in this province, that says they believe in cutting red tape, making life easier, and that family is the building block of society. In this province and government that makes these claims, we have been waiting 26 months for a caseworker from FSCD, Family Supports for Children with Disabilities. 26 months where we have been trying to piece together the supports that we are able to access. Supports available only because I'm privileged to have a job that gives me flexibility in my time and medical benefits, unlike many other families. 26 months of seeing Jacob relentlessly work towards learning how to navigate stairs or tell us what he wants to play by using picture tiles. 26 months of waiting for the government to live up to the commitment that all children deserve to take part in our community. 26 months of waiting for FSC services with no end in sight will have lifelong impacts on my son. Abandoning children, abandoning families of children with disabilities is indefensible. There are thousands of families like mine across this province waiting for essential disability supports. Many have waited more than 3 years. Without FSCD support, the extraordinary costs and impacts on families are very real. Children are missing developmental opportunities during critical early years. Family members experience escalating physical and mental health challenges. I've read their words. They've said, we're burning out, we're struggling. They're losing their jobs because their children have no support to attend school or childcare. I think my son, Jacob, deserves to have hobbies that he can enjoy. A group of friends. Enjoy his time at the zoo. He deserves to be confident in who he is and know that he has gifts to share with others. And I know in Alberta there are many other parents, grandparents, teachers, aunts, uncles, neighbors, all Albertans who see children that could have unlimited futures if the government invested in their potential. The government is always talking about standing up for Albertans. They're always complaining about wanting to see meaningful action rather than hollow rhetoric. Well, I want to see meaningful action. I want this government to honor their commitments, support Albertan families, and ensure Albertan children get the support they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Roxanne, for those passionate words and sage advice to us all. We want the best for you and your family. We have our final speaker, someone who needs no introduction to this august crowd, but I will give him one anyway. The man, the myth, the legend is here, Zachary Weeks. Zachary is a dedicated advocate and accessibility consultant who was born and raised in Edmonton. Zach is a powerful spokesperson on disability issues since at a very young age. He's lending his expertise to building projects like the Bill Black Auditorium at the Glen Rose and Rogers Place. His passion for social justice fuels his commitment to shine a light on critical issues such as accessibility, ableism, and discrimination. His journey is one of passion and pride, one of my good friends, one of the leading advocates of disability, not only in this province, but across this country, my good friend, Zachary Weeks.
Can y'all hear me? Maybe a little bit louder, I don't know. Hello, Alberta. We're united here today on the steps of power because too many of us have been pushed to the bottom of them for too long. We know Alberta is behind. We are one of the only provinces in this country without accessibility legislation, and that's not an oversight, that's a message. A message that says accessibility and people with disabilities are optional. That says disability lives, disability voices, disability futures are negotiable. Let me tell you right now, we are not negotiable. Accessibility legislation isn't charity, it isn't a feel-good campaign. It's the legal framework that says we belong here. That we have the right to move through the world with freedom, safety, and dignity. No more backdoor entrances. Unless you're at an Oilers game.
By the guards and...
No more closed captions that never show. No more ASL interpreters that aren't booked. No more wait until next year while people suffer today. And let's be clear, accessibility is not just about ramps and doorways, which is what the UCP has been saying all along. It's about public transit that actually shows up. It's about access to health care that understands disabilities. It's about employment systems that accommodate instead of exclude, education and supports instead of isolates. And digital services that don't leave people behind, so you too can order your skip the dishes. Real accessibility legislation means enforceable standards across housing, transportation, communication, technology, and
Sorry, tech issues.
hang on. 2 seconds. My battery died.
The battery died. They're going to
Oh,
fix
yeah,
it.
that's right.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Maybe this.
Would you like me to hold it?
Go give it to Zach. Give it to Zach. Go help us, Zach. Go help us, Zach.
That'll do it.
Tech issues, so they're going to start another speaker.
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
It's a little better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're gonna go ahead.
Can y'all hear me now? All right. We're going bloody vintage, baby. Bringing it back to the 80s.
Okay, Zach! Yay! Woo!
All right, so we talked about the different pillars of accessibility legislation, and we need that because if the government only sees the building code, then they're not seeing us. This government wants to talk about cost. Let's talk about the cost of doing nothing. So, what is the cost of doing nothing? Isolation, job loss, medical trauma, mental health crises. People push towards MAID not because they want to die, but because they can't afford to live. That's the cost of inaction. I said earlier that we are on the steps of power. But let me correct myself. The real power is standing and sitting right here, right now. It's you. The people who showed up, the people with real struggles, real courage, and real expectations for justice. You are the ones who carry this movement forward. It's not just Zachary, it's not just Kent, it's not Dan, not London, it's all of us.
It is.
And you're not asking for special treatment, you're demanding what should have been guaranteed from the start. Real accessibility. This province doesn't change unless we force it to. And that's exactly what we're here to do. Not in a report that is hidden, not in a consultation that wasn't given, in law. Accessibility legislation now. Thank you.
Be better!
All right, we're getting close to the end. Now, I'm 55 years old, and I've been an MC at a lot of events, and I usually say, if you're not on the list, you're not going to speak. That's my rule. Except for today, because my good friend Lloyd Robertson from the Disability Action Hall wanted to say a few words. I know him as a passionate advocate, proud member of our group, who really strives to make his community and those around him better and fonder and doing the best they can. Lloyd, let's hear what you have to say, my friend.
Elbow. Okay. Do you want to hold it, or would you like me to hold it?
No, just hold it.
Hold that button right there. Yep. Speak right inside.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Roberts, and I'm an advocate for all people with disabilities. I have a disability upon at about 40, but that's not my purpose right now. My purpose is advocating for everybody. And one of the things we have to advocate for is the rights of all disabled people from birth to death. And that is not being done by this government, especially with the seniors. The seniors have been, as soon as you're at 65, you lose every benefit you get. That's not right. What has to happen is benefits have to start when you're born, and they continue throughout the length of your life. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Well said, Lloyd. 1 second.
Okay, guys. Well, that concludes our rally, but I do want to thank some people. I want to thank each and one of you for coming out here, for standing up to this government, for ensuring that we're going to do better moving forward, and we're stronger together than we are individually. Another thing, some of us brought a friend. Who brought us a friend? Who brought a friend here? A brother or a sister? A caregiver or a mom or dad? Who brought that? Well, hey, let's have a big round of applause for all those people who supported us. And the last thing, I'm hoping that Vince can take a picture of all of us before we go. Vince is going to go up here, and we'll stand all down here, okay?
Oh, we didn't have to go. Last year we all went that way. But there was only like 25 people.
Can I get the access for all?
Yeah.
Banner in front of everybody?
Yeah.
Let's do it.